supposed to be one more investor. He got on a plane and it didn't go to New York City. So he will not be here. It's somewhere else, but we have a really awesome group right here. And very excited to kick off by introducing the first startup. Are y'all ready for this? Are we all ready? Come on. All right, we got Cast Biz. Cast is an all-in-one mobile solution to reimagine how real estate agents grow their brand and business by providing AI-driven superpowers to source better leads faster. Everyone give it up for Cast Biz, who is hopefully here right now. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Vipin Makhija, and for 15 years, I've built products and teams at 0 to 1 mobile startups and 1 to 10 companies that have gone public. I also ran a real estate marketing solutions company for a few years. I'm now bringing all of that experience together to build Cast, a mobile AI platform that gives real estate professionals superpowers to grow their brand and business. Real estate is the biggest asset class in the country, served by over 2 million agents. We spoke to more than 400 of them. Showcased on the screen is John, an ambitious real estate agent in New Jersey. John loves to close deals with his clients, buying, selling, and investing in homes. That's what he's trained to do, and that's what he's most excited to do. However, he's fearful on a daily basis where his next lead is going to come from. John uses too many marketing tools, solutions, and techniques. Each comes with its price point, learning curve, and they're all disconnected, and he still does not get the consistent results that he desires. Enter Cast. In step 1, we provide agents like John all-in-one mobile app. We provide agents like John an all-in-one mobile app that bundles everything he needs to be successful at marketing by bundling everything that he needs for inbound and outbound marketing, and therefore cutting down the cost and clutter of tools by 5 times on day 1. To use Cast, John launches a proprietary smart micro website that comes preloaded with capabilities like smart chatbots, digital business cards, marketing assets, and AI technology, and then watch and manage the leads as they pour into the app. Feedback from the early demos has been unanimously positive, but wait, this is just the start. 80% people work with the first or second real estate agent they meet or talk to. That is mind-boggling. This means that for John to be successful, he needs to be in front of those leads earlier than competitors and be on top of their mind on all marketing channels everywhere. This is where Cast changes the game by predicting and sourcing buyers, sellers, and investors through proprietary AI-driven intent signals even before they're aware of their intentions, and then hyper-personalizing the communication between John and the prospects so he can focus on closing deals and not chasing leads. The current competitors are legacy CRM softwares, heavy-duty desktop solutions that focus on conventional mass marketing. By reaching those prospects early, John can build relationships early with those folks, and this is the big shift that Cast brings about. It's a $9 billion total addressable market represented by 1.5 real estate agents that focus on the residential space. To go to market, we're first going to convert more than 8,000 agents that already follow our brand and work with our strategic channel partner who is an international speaker and a real estate and AI coach, followed by more than 100,000 real estate agents. We're launching our private commercial beta version in 2 weeks on the App Store at $50 a month subscription, and then continue to build and upsell the AI signals and predictive analytics over time with the intention of reaching 100K ARR within the next 6 to 9 months as we start our fundraise. Speaking of which, we're currently raising our pre-seed 300K. Our team consists of experts, partners, and advisors in real estate, mobile tech, and data science. We believe we have what it takes to make sure that Cast becomes a sidekick that turns real estate professionals into superheroes by providing them better leads faster. Thank you for your time today, and thank you, Propelify, for hosting us.
Oh yeah, round of applause, everybody. All right, so I think this is time for Ben and Phil to do the thing.
Great job.
Thank you.
The real estate market right now is unpredictable, some say. How do you tell your potential clients that this is a positive lead-generating service, that guarantees the stability that you're promising?
Well, number one, people are always going to rent, buy, even if it's a slow market. Number one, from a product point of view, it's a perfect time to build something. From a value proposition, which was your original question, I think the agents are now struggling to find better leads early. And this is precisely where Cast comes in, especially in a tough market. They want to stand out. They want to get to those leads early, right? And that is what that is where Cast differentiates itself by predicting who's going to buy or sell or invest even before they're aware of their intentions or they start going on Zillow. Because once they go on Zillow, Zillow got them, right? So our goal is to be able to predict based on life events, who's getting married, divorced, whose kids are moving to college, who's relocating. The idea is you get there early and you have an 80% shot as an agent to become their agent of choice.
And where are you pulling that predictive data from? Like, where are you getting those inputs to be able to inform your model?
So it's a multi-layered data model. We've built our POC already, which proved 60-70% accurate. Some of the data you can get directly from the counties. We work with a data aggregator, a leading company in the US that has data on 150 properties. So tax, mortgage data, property data, ownership, neighborhood, that part is available. And then we've come up with some creative ways to procure some of that data through social media and also through running hyper-personalized ads.
Last question. Do you know how much your potential customers are willing to pay for a service like this?
Yes, so before I dove into this, I ran a real estate marketing solutions. I mean, agents, especially in bigger markets like the tri-state area, they pay thousands of dollars every month for lead gen. So the only thing is they need to get on board, get familiar, get confident in the accuracy of the model. And I mean, I've had clients that have paid thousands of dollars per month for just lead gen, which was sort of mass marketing. And this, because it's predictive and because you can get there early, we're pricing it at $50 a subscription for just the app. But over time, signals will be sold at hundreds of dollars.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So just to provide a little context for people who didn't see the last round of pitches, I'm a communications coach. I'm just here to provide a little bit of feedback on how the startup founders are pitching their ideas. What I wanted to address quickly is something that I did cover in the last one, but I'll do it in a little bit different of a direction too this time. Vocal variety. There's 5 components to vocal variety. Pace, fast and slow. Pause, having an intentional rest in your communication. Power, volume, loud or soft. Pitch, high and low tones of your voice. And placement, where the actual sound waves resonate out of your body. So if you know someone who's nasal, all the sound is right here. So I want you to think about your pitch range specifically. Right now, I think you're using a smaller pitch range than you have access to, as do most of us most of the time. So if you can imagine the pitch bouncing between my fingers, right? This is about how much you're using, when in fact you have this much, right? Those tops and bottoms of your pitch range are going to keep people re-engaging with what you're saying constantly throughout your pitch. More variety is better, especially when you're speaking. So not only pitch, but all those other ones I mentioned. One drill you can try, which I didn't say last time, but one drill you can try is called the pitch trumpet, where you pretend like you have a trumpet, and then you speak your words in your mouth.
As long as you don't make me do that right now on the stage.
I'm not going to make you do it. But what I will suggest is you do it before your next pitch. That way you get your body used to making more pitch than you normally would. And there's a tendency when you're in front of people to clamp down on our expressiveness, including our voice, most of the time our voice, and to go the other direction is what I'm interested in for you. So give it a try.
Very cool. Thank you.
Amazing, thank you. Everyone give it up. It turns out I was supposed to be in this seat all along, but we're gonna switch it up now. So, all right, everybody. Now we're gonna introduce, you still with me? Y'all still with me? Come on. All right, cool. We're gonna introduce Aiirify. Aiirify is an enterprise support platform that leverages chat, AI, and automation to resolve IT support requests in less than 3 minutes, 15 times faster, and at a third of the cost. Everyone give it up for Aiirify.
Hi all, can you hear me? I think you can. He already gave the description of what Aiirify does. My name is Jeet Naik. I'm the co-founder of Aiirify. We are an AI-driven IT automation company. We do use chatbot, AI, and automation to streamline IT processes 15x faster and at 1/3 the cost. Most of you have probably experienced IT disruptions. I just want to see the screen. And most of you felt like the person over there, right? And it always happens at the worst timing. When you're running into a meeting, when you're working on a project, and you're left frustrated, and you have a productivity hit. That's actually costing US about $150 billion in lost productivity each year. Not to mention the added stress. So 95% of the US workforce has moderate to high level of stress. From an IT organizational standpoint, 95% of the organizations are struggling to hire, retain, right, and upskill their workforce, while a significant amount of their resources are tied up in support. So, what is the solution here? Can we solve problems without human intervention? Aiirify brings in chat, NLP. Oops. There's supposed to be a demo there, but I'll just walk you through it. Aiirify brings in chat, NLP, and automation to resolve these issues in less than 3 minutes. So one of the use cases that we had for our customer had to do with two-factor authentication. Their average response time for two-factor is 14 hours. And I was like, wait, what do people do for 14 hours? Do they just sit around? We do that, again, there was a demo there, but we do it in 1 minute and 60 seconds where we resolve the issue for the end user. We walk them through what they required, we authenticate them, and then we provide access. Our initial market is the internal IT help desk. It's a $67 billion market, but that's just our initial footing into it. We want to expand to other verticals such as HR, finance, customer support as we continue to grow. So what sets Aiirify apart from every other chatbot that's out there and every company that says that they're AI, right? We are an end-to-end automation. So we're not Copilot that gives you instructions. We're not a knowledge base like ChatGPT. We want to solve the problem for you, because I hate when I get instructions because I don't want to do them. From a cost and speed perspective, we are significantly cheaper than the current process. And as I said, we want to solve these problems in less than 3 minutes compared to about 45 to an hour it takes existing IT processes to solve these problems. Scalability and the infrastructure is a big part for us. We want to be able to scale to a lot of different use cases and a lot of different functions. And we allow that right out of the box. We do that using the integrations. So we are platform agnostic. We don't care what platform you have or applications you're using. As long as we have access to API, we could automate the transactions that happen on those platforms. Finally, data. We want to use the data to predict the users even before they come onto our platform. So we're using data to understand where the user is, are they locked out, what's happening with them, and really give them customized journeys as we kind of continue to grow. Our end vision is really to create self-healing ecosystems where we could predict the user behavior, the system behavior, and solve these problems even before the users actually encounter them. So where are we in this journey? We currently have customers. We have paid customers. We're very early. We bootstrapped it so far. We are part of the Carnegie Mellon Venture Bridge Accelerator that's focused on AI. And as we continue to grow, we are looking for design partners, organizations that are looking forward in terms of how do you disrupt and how do you increase the efficiency from an operational standpoint. We're also starting early stage raising, so any angels, super angels, early stage, happy to chat. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Give it up.
Great pitch. Could you give me a bit more detail on, as it is today, the specific customers you're looking to service, like scale of enterprise, number of seats, et cetera?
So yeah, so we are focused on enterprise, anywhere 500 to about, because we want to make sure the ROI is there for a lot of customers. We are industry agnostic, IT, everyone has IT, right, regardless of where you are. Right now we're starting off with, one is the university, big university, 30,000 users. The other one is a digital health company across the river from here, but we want to move and expand. Right now we're not targeting financial services and healthcare, just because the sales cycle is much harder, especially from a security standpoint. But anyone else is fair game.
And because you're actually automating processes and actions, how disruptive is that to existing IT teams that you're basically selling into? Are you replacing workers on those teams? And if so, what's that conversation like for those folks?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. And a lot of customers that we talk to, right, the biggest challenge is they don't have enough skill set. Now, you're saying you have, 10 people sitting and solving IT support. For us, it's like, how do we upskill them to add more value? And there are a lot of projects that are not being done because they just don't have the resources. So we're not coming in saying, hey, we're going to replace it. It's how do you add more value from the resources that you have? So anything that's support, we will take on and make the efficient process.
Last question. You're talking about value add for your customers. What, in its current state, have customers been most excited about, receptive towards with your product?
So the one thing is the user experience, right? I think that, again, we've been at workplaces where something happens, it really adds onto the stress and the productivity hamper of it. Two is the automation, the scalability we could deliver at the cost we could deliver. So we undercut at least 70% of the cost from the existing process. Even competitively, right? When you look at Copilot, I think it's $30 per subscriber per month, which is ridiculous. The second one, as we continue, we'll probably think about the ROI and the sharing of the ROI versus pure play. So if you save the tickets, we'll take a portion of that ticket, which has been very helpful for some of the customers who are looking to scale.
Sorry, one last thing. I just want to say I really appreciated how you, at the end, tied it to the broader vision of this company beyond your existing product, because I feel like that's part of the very compelling part of this whole idea. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Quick question. So this is an enterprise solution, and I've seen with a lot of enterprise, they're very cautious about security risks with their organization when it comes to AI. More than startups I've seen. I saw Samsung, they put their trade secrets out in ChatGPT. A lot of people got fired, people got in trouble, and lessons were learned. How are you addressing these security concerns with these enterprise companies about their private data going out to the knowledge base?
Good question. So there are two parts. There is a security part. So when a user comes in, they don't log into Aiirify. They'll come in through their single sign-on. So we remove any ability for us to validate that user because they've already been validated from an enterprise before they come to our system. The second thing is data. We don't capture any PIIs, right? I've been in the data realm. I used to lead a data team, and I know how precious that data is. So we're not capturing any of the user PII. We are capturing the interactions to make the bot better. But those two, I think, has been very helpful because we're not saying sign on to this independently. They're coming through their single sign-on, which really removes all of it because they're authenticating it even before they fall within our platform. And we're not capturing any data from a PII perspective.
Awesome. Thank you. And Ben.
Yeah. So there's one thing I want to say, which is speakers do not have to feel confident in order to project confidence. We were talking about it earlier. And I'm not saying that because I don't think you felt confident or didn't project confidence. But there was one thing that I want to take a look at about your physical presence and maybe how that can even project more confidence in a situation like this. And that was how you were moving around the space. So we talked a little earlier in the session about someone who was kind of stuck in one spot. This time around, I saw you kind of doing a little bit of this, a little bit of a kind of box step kind of thing, which is generally just nervous energy that needs to come out. And I wanted you to think about how you can motivate your movement on stage. Motivated movement instead of random movement. So I want you to start tying it to who you're talking to in the audience. Generally, it's you want to talk to someone over there, you walk over there. You want to talk to someone in the middle, you walk down the middle. You want to go grab a drink of water, you walk and grab a drink of water. You want to point at one slide specifically, you point at that slide. How you're moving around the space should be tied to what you're doing and why. Yeah. The less random movement, the less unmotivated movement you can do, again, the more your confidence will shine through, the more your authentic communicator will shine through. So give that a try. Maybe you can even get a recording of this and see, and then try to give yourself some notes on where you could do a little bit of more motivated movement.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, everyone give it up for Aiirify. All right, next we have Producer AI. It's your AI digital twin platform for video interactions and video creation. Give it up, everybody, for Producer AI.
Hello.
AI. All right, now for real. Everyone give it up.
Is this on? Woo, okay. All right. Oh, am I already starting? Okay. Okay. everyone, it's great to be here. My name is Amanda Peterson, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Producer. We're building a platform where you can video chat with experts whenever you need them and right from your pocket. All right, have you ever tried to get time with someone, but their calendar was perpetually full, or you just weren't in the same network? This happens to me actually quite a lot. It happened recently. I was online and I saw this ad to video chat with Alexis Ohanian. Awesome. I would love to FaceTime with the founder of Reddit, but as soon as I clicked on his face, I got to this screen to join the waitlist. So I tried Spencer Raskoff. He's the co-founder of Zillow. He doesn't have a waitlist, but a quick 15-minute call with Spencer is $750. Then, if you look at his availability, he's not actually free until the end of August. The problem with these current solutions is that because all of the people that we want to get time with are extremely busy and in high demand, it doesn't actually work. Our mission is to increase access to these high-demand individuals, their expertise, and their support using our AI digital twins. To summarize this opportunity, what if, regardless of who you knew or who you were connected to on LinkedIn, you could get real FaceTime with Alexis Ohanian? For less than the price of a large pizza, he's always available. And unlike humans, his digital twin is never tired, never distracted, but fully present and focused on you every single time. Sound interesting? This is exactly what we're building with Producer. Producer lets you create your full 360-degree identical digital twin, and then you can start video chatting with our experts through our platform called Axis. All right, do you guys want to see these digital twins in action? Yeah? Woo! Okay, let's roll this video. This is a video, you can go ahead and start, from our New York Tech Week event. It's a founder pitching to one of our digital twin investors, Andrew Young.
Thank you for sharing your idea with me. It's quite intriguing. Let me take a moment to consider all the aspects before we proceed.
Shout out to Andrew if he's here, but I don't think he is.
What key features does your platform offer to ensure that educators, like the math teacher you mentioned, can easily create engaging and effective educational games without the need for coding knowledge?
Oh, I love that question, Andrew.
Okay, so as you can see, our target customers are startups and founders who are actively seeking to practice pitching their startup for raising capital and getting that enterprise client. We're also expanding to corporate customers for a coach in your pocket for professional and personal development. Imagine getting to get executive coaching time with Adam Grant or Tony Robbins, or maybe meet with a therapist or doctor who is otherwise unavailable. And then beyond that, we're looking at universities and parents for the professor and elite tutor in your pocket. This entire year, we've been building exponential traction. We just launched at New York Tech Week and will be on the App Store later this fall. A quick comparison, a look at our competitors. So while there's a lot of really cool things going on in AI right now, we haven't yet seen another digital twin platform for these real-time video chats. My co-founder and I both have over a decade of experience in tech. We both have a technical background, and we're incredibly excited for you guys to try out Producer. Use this QR code to sign up on the waitlist and follow us on social.
Great. Thank you. Round of applause, everybody. I have a quick question, then I'll pass over to Phil. So, great product. I definitely think there's a need for this with founders and startups and entrepreneurs alike. The challenge is when you're going after that, there are a ton of them you have to get the traction, right? So I guess my question is, what's your go-to-market plan? And do you have an existing network of entrepreneurs or founders, or how do you plan to get them in the masses to actually make this a scalable solution?
Yeah, just to clarify, are you talking about getting more on the supply side or the demand side?
Customers, so.
Oh, customers, yeah. So on the demand side, well, I mean, kind of like I mentioned, they're actually it's not just a need, but it's an urgency that founders have to practice pitching their startup to either raise capital, to build traction, or to get enterprise clients, because otherwise they don't survive. So it's actually been pretty easy. I've just been going to lots of different founder events, started posting on social recently, and there's been a lot of interest.
Cool. Bill?
What's the cloning process like?
What's the what?
The actual digital twin cloning process
Oh,
like?
yes. Okay, so the cloning process, there's a couple of different steps, and it's a little bit hacky, but there's the surface layer, which is your face, and it's your voice. So in terms of the user perspective, all you have to do is upload a photo and a 30-second voice recording, and then you have your visual digital twin. In terms of building out your skills, your experience, and your personality and mannerisms, it's been a trial and error process. I first started by uploading text messages with my exes to sort of get that, authentic personality to come across. But what I've actually found to be the most helpful is when the ChatGPT voice feature came out last year, I started using it pretty heavily just as a thought partner for personal and professional things. So I have hundreds of hours of conversations with ChatGPT that has been really great for training my digital twin.
Super cool. Quick question about your initial vertical for founders.
Your what?
For your initial target market of
Yes.
founders. How are you thinking about long-term retention of your existing customers? Because fundraisers don't happen that often. Founders are always fundraising, sure, but how are you thinking about keeping folks on the platform once they hopefully close their fundraise, for example?
Yeah, great question. So there are a couple of options. So in addition to fundraising, people are also interested in using Producer for building traction, which people are always trying to acquire more users and then showcase what new feature they have. So that's something. But also, in addition to having investors on the platform on the supply side, we're also looking to expand to executive coaches, therapists, doctors, and physical trainers. So really, after you finish raising capital, you can use the platform to talk with a variety of digital twins from different professions for different use cases.
Last question. For the supply side of folks that are becoming these twins, you're making them more accessible, you're making them more affordable, which from the customer side is awesome. But what if I want to charge $800 for 15 minutes of my time consistently? How do you tell folks that want to be on that supply side to say, hey, this actually won't dilute your brand, this won't dilute your value, it'll make you more accessible?
Yes.
How do you kind of juggle that?
Yeah, so one of the target customers on the supply side I've been exploring is therapists. And all of the best therapists, if you've ever tried, have a wait list. But the thing is that a lot of people would want to take on additional clients and get additional revenue, but they truly don't have the bandwidth in their calendar. So when you tell them that you can increase your revenue and take on more clients without having to do anything else on your end, and it's for everyone. It's for VCs, it's for therapists, for doctors. It's very attractive for trainers. Yeah, so.
Super cool.
Yeah.
One last thing, and we'll pass to Ben. Just something I want to offer is that I respect the hustle, and you're going after entrepreneurs, you're going to events, and that's great, and that's bootstrapping. That's how I've started many of my startups. When you're speaking with VCs, they may want to see something more scalable. So you might want to consider some marketing partners and actual communities of entrepreneurs and forming strategic partnerships with them to kind of have a more scalable onboarding process and bring on more people once you get past this initial traction. So just something I want to offer.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Okay. Good communication comes from using more of ourselves, not less. In almost every professional setting, that is the case, at least in my experience, across industries. We were in the tent back there, and I think I heard you practicing. Is that right?
Yes.
Great. You were practicing out loud. That's one of the things we recommend to all our clients. Practice out loud more than you currently do. That's another thing I want to ask of you to think about. How can you practice out loud more than you currently do? The other thing I want to add, and why I said good communication comes from using more of ourselves, is in addition to practicing out loud, I want you to think about adding a warm-up specifically for communication. Is that something you do currently? And by a warm-up, I mean practicing tongue twisters or things like that.
I have not done that, but I
Okay.
could try that.
Good. So if
Let's
there's,
do it now.
If there's one
Yes.
thing that you all can do,
Pickle
that's a
Piper
really,
picked a pickle. Yeah, whatever
Yeah, exactly.
that thing is.
That's it. A really low investment, a really small investment is do a warm-up before you have a speaking event. And by warm-up, I mean specific for communications, warming up your breath, your body, and your voice. So for the voice, for example, doing tongue twisters. It's seemingly silly, but in the silliness is a profound effectiveness. And it's a really high return on your very, very low investment. So in addition to your practicing out loud, go try a warm-up. You can go to
I
our
will do
website,
that.
gktraining.com.
Yes.
You will get a free page of warm-ups on our website that you can try out.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. I will definitely try that out. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome. All right, quick question. What does it do? I'm gonna get yelled at for
Yes,
going over.
tell me.
How long would it take to train the twin? How accurate would it be is the general question.
Yeah, so I think practically the method that I use, and this really comes from engineering, is to think big, start small, and move fast. So we're not trying to train your digital twin in one go. We start with a very simple base layer of getting a few fundamentals, and then it's really about that feedback loop. So you interacting with your digital twin, you're testing it out, you're having conversations with it, and then as you also develop and grow as a person, which we do every single day, then you continuously add on those other layers. Yeah, great question.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Everyone give it up for producer.ai.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Thank you. Thank you. I think I know the next one. We're going to find out right now. So, Easy Newswire. Is that Easy Newswire? Okay, cool. All right. So, Easy Newswire is an AI-enabled platform that makes it easy for organizations to transform their news into marketing and communications performance. Everyone, give it up for Easy Newswire. And you heard any good jokes lately? Anyone playing with ChatGPT? Sure. Nah, I don't got anything. We're gonna sit down now.
Thank you. Thank you. That was
Thank
hilarious.
you.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to meet you. I'm Caitlin Kelly. This is Neel Shah. We're the co-founders of Easy Newswire. Thanks for your time.
Hi, guys. Great to be here in New Jersey. Beyond being the birthplace of Frank Sinatra, Bruce Springsteen, and John Bon Jovi, here are some other interesting facts about New Jersey. New Jersey. Can you guys hear me okay? New Jersey is the diner capital of the world with 600 diners. She knows. The saltwater taffy originated in Atlantic City. There are more shopping malls here per square mile than any other state in the country. There are also more scientists and engineers per square mile than any place in the world. New Jersey ranks 11th.
Yeah!
New Jersey ranks 11th in the country in the number of small businesses with nearly 900,000. Also, 21 Fortune 500 companies are headquartered in New Jersey. 13 of the top 20 global pharmaceutical companies are headquartered in New Jersey. So entrepreneurism and innovation is a lifeblood of New Jersey. It's a state of visionaries, dreamers, and doers. Behind every invention, whether it's a life-saving cancer medicine or saltwater taffy, there's a story of an intrepid entrepreneur, scientist, or company bucking the odds to create something truly extraordinary. And yet, the number one challenge faced by companies, big or small, is how to tell their story and shape it in a way that matters for their customers, their investors, and other stakeholders. This is why we built Easy Newswire. We help businesses transform their news into marketing performance.
Hi, guys. So look, for the longest time, the gatekeepers of press release distribution have been two newswires. They're called PR Newswire and Business Wire. After spending 15 years in corporate communications, I can tell you from firsthand experience that it is an old school boys club that hasn't innovated in decades. Their technology is outdated, their product is spammy, and they charge monopolistic pricing, making it inaccessible to basically everybody, but it also has very low ROI and return on the work spent to do it. So we realized that to solve this problem, we had to think differently. So look, a lot of things have changed in the past 75 years when these companies were initially founded, right? A moon landing, the Cold War, and also this little tiny thing called the internet. So our first goal in bringing the Newswire to the modern era was to enable companies to better tell their stories. So we do this in 3 ways. We do it first through technology, then through partnerships, and then through design. We use finely tuned AI models to help companies tell their stories. We write business announcements, and we do this completely for free because in an AI age, content creation will be ubiquitous. Unlike the legacy newswires, we partner with premium publications and share our revenue with them because we believe it is far better to share in a growing pie than to divide a shrinking one. This way, we guarantee our clients' news is placed on a guaranteed basis to the publications they actually care about. Every piece of content that we publish is discoverable by all of the major search engines, and we price effectively and affordably. So there are no empty promises, we don't publish to crummy sites, and there's no brand safety risks. From writing content to publishing to analytics, our experience and process is quick, it's slick, it's enjoyable. So in August of 2022, we launched our MVP. It was janky, but thousands of customers used it. Everybody from 3M to your neighborhood side hustle. And people loved it. We were helping people tell their stories and do it easily. But the number one piece of feedback we got from that MVP product was distribution. So we went back to the drawing board and fully rebuilt our product and partnered up with the Associated Press. We now make content creation instantaneous. We have a slew of publisher partnerships, and our user experience is truly beautiful. Our publisher network continues to grow, and our volume picks up steam with zero paid marketing behind it. To date, we don't even have a salesperson. So, as of today, 2 years later, we just signed our first multi-year exclusive agreement with the global news provider Reuters. It's really exciting. Yeah, oh, we gotta go. Finish up.
All right, I'm back. So building a better, more effective newswire is only the first part of our plan. There are many ways for us to help our customers amplify their content seamlessly across formats and channels. It also turns out, at scale, being the hub where news is created and shared is pretty darn valuable. We've assembled a great team to make all this happen. And we've got great backers. Our investors have spent decades building the biggest companies in media and technology, including Hearst, Ziff Davis, Sinclair, and Forbes.
Yeah.
It may not be as exciting as discovering the world's first dinosaur bones, another New Jersey fact. She knows. But we've got big things planned to come. Thank you.
Awesome, everybody give it up. Great product. Love to hear about this. There's a lot of need for people to kind of consolidate this news and get this information quickly and accurately.
Yeah.
My question is, nowadays I see a lot of people putting things out like this with the ability to make custom GPTs and things like that. You could kind of go in ChatGPT and no code create something similar to this. I'm curious what is different about this than someone just going and making a GPT that does something similar. What's the differentiator here?
We build really robust APIs that connect directly with each of our publishers' CMSs.
So in addition to the content creation, right, you can create your news, take everyday business traction and like convert it into a marketing asset. We create the video, the audio, then we deploy it through these exclusive agreements with news publications like Reuters. So that's
so you
sort of
actually
the
have the
special
partnerships and
sauce.
deployments.
Yeah, and the technology is integrated into that entire process and experience, and all the way through analytics at the end of it.
Oh, okay, fantastic. That's
Yeah.
great. Phil, over to you.
To clarifying question, so the news publications that you work with, the content you're creating goes out through their auspices, right? It's not branded through Easy.
It's published on Reuters.com.
Got it.
Yeah.
Super cool. Congrats on the multi-year deal.
Thanks.
What were they most excited about when they signed it?
So I think one of the key things that differentiated us is that we're willing to pay them. No other, the legacy newswires, in fact, if you go back to the 50s and 60s when they were built, they were being paid by both the businesses that needed to distribute their news, as well as the publishers who needed to fill their pages. You know, after Al Gore invented the internet, that didn't exist anymore, right? So we actually take a very different approach of partnering with publishers and sharing revenue with them.
And I would say in addition to that, anybody can pay these publishers, right? What they view us as is a platform that helps companies generate news about their momentum. They can then identify high growth companies, right? Positioned to be bigger advertisers with them down the line. Or perhaps their editorial team needs to use that intelligence as source material for a story that they're developing. So there's a whole bunch of ways that we're working with publishers from a data perspective to provide them with the insights they need to improve their both commercial and editorial teams.
Super cool. Last question. How are you servicing a large-scale group of actual customers, the companies that you're looking to actually, publish content around? Since your publishers are the more business-oriented partnership there, like how can you scale out that kind of service?
Yeah. It's a great question. And it's not just news publications, but we had to start somewhere first, right? So we picked the most premium news publications in the world and went after them. And now we're adding niche substacks, right? With these, don't think of publishers so linearly. This is any entity of influence that commands attention from their audience, right? That's where our customers want to be. So that could be everything from a podcast to a newsletter to a global news organization.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Ben.
So I want to just talk a little bit about, this is the first pitch we've seen without a deck, and you had the note cards. And I got a little bit of a backstage preview with the note cards because I could see their notes. I want to just suggest, maybe instead of the amount of text you have on your note cards, maybe we could do bullet points that are more flexible.
Yes.
The reason being is that when we have a full text of what we want to say, we tend to get trapped in each word for word.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have bullet points, you can be more flexible, right? This is all to say that you need to practice out loud beforehand, all those bullet points. But if you run out of time, if you get a question, if you not sure where you want to go next, right? A bullet point can keep you on track and is a little bit more flexible.
No question. That was a recommendation. No question.
There's a function
Okay.
of putting this together at 2 a.m. last night.
Got it.
Yeah, it's the founder dream,
Of
you
course,
know?
yeah. Well,
No, but with practice comes perfection, right? And we totally agree with you that, like, in a founder's day-to-day job, and not only are you an engineer or janitor, you also have to be a public speaker. So, point well taken.
Yeah.
Awesome. Everybody, round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to save it for the end. We got short on time. We'll follow up with all the information, I promise. Who's single out there? All right. Yeah. All right. I like this. We got a different one coming up right now. A lot of the other solutions have been for businesses. This one, Couple.ai, is revolutionizing romantic connections through cutting-edge AI and live interactive video experiences. So let's all give it up for Couple.ai and hear what they got to do.
All right, thank you. Hello, I'm Ryan Beswick. I'm CEO of Couple.ai. We're revolutionizing how people meet romantically with our online singles parties. These parties are the data capture engine to drive our AI matchmaking. So let's dive in. Online dating, it doesn't work for most people. There's a number of reasons why. It begins with low quality data. Users fill out forms about themselves, they embellish their profiles, and it leads to poor quality matching. Number two, the experience is very superficial. You're presented with a profile picture, you're going to make a quick decision based on looks, and then you're just swiping on to the next one. And then the growing problem is user safety. In 2022, romance scams cost consumers $1.3 billion. Now we've got the arrival of generative AI, making it easier than ever to run these scams in an automated fashion. It's creating a major mess on these platforms. So at Couple, we understand the importance of getting quality data and connecting people together in a safe and meaningful way. We do it with our online singles parties. So the night starts in our group party rooms. There's dozens of these rooms running in parallel. And we've got entertainment. So there's comedy, there's music, interactive games. Then we connect people together on one-on-one speed dates. We make it feel like a party so you can see those dating tables to the side. And to make the small talk a bit easier, we pop up icebreakers on the screen. Now, throughout all of this, we're getting deep insights to our users' romantic traits and preferences. So all the audio and video from both the group rooms and the one-on-one dates gets fed through AI expression analysis. We've got 4 different models that are picking up on the expressions that you're communicating to your dating partner. We sample this at like 3 times per second across 48 different dimensions. So this gives us insights into how people are reacting to each other on a very human and emotional level. All the audio, it gets converted into text, and we do an analysis there where we get word count ratios and vocabulary scoring. So this gives us a sense of communication style, education level, who's more dominant in a conversation. And then we pair that with all the user-generated labeling. So this is every click they make on the platform. So they're sending virtual gifts to each other. They're rating each other on appearance and personality. They make their match decisions. All this gets fed into the AI matching engine. So we like to think of it as a whole brain approach. Think about all the data that we get relative to what the legacy dating apps have. We have something we can really pair people on. So we've been at this for 4 years. We've got $7 million invested. We know the market wants our product. You should see these stats we're getting. 78 minutes is our average engagement time. That puts us on par with apps like TikTok. You come to our event, you're there over an hour. 70% of people walk away with at least one mutual match after their first event. Much different than these legacy dating apps. 92% rate us favorably. And this is across over 230 experience tests, 100,000 survey responses. So the platform's built. We received a patent for the interactive video technology we developed. We've got 3 provisional patents in for our AI features. Thank you. And now we're ready to roll out and go to market. So this coming quarter, we're launching in New York City. That's our first market. Toward the end of the year, 3 more cities along the East Coast. And then next year, the focus is to bring this nationwide. We're going after the $10 billion core dating market, but Couple.com's a party. And so we're also attacking that $275 billion dating-related market, as we call it. So that's bars and restaurants, social clubs, et cetera. People will come into our events, the dating ends, the after party goes on for another 4 hours. We have 20% of our participants will toggle off the dating just so they can hang out in this fun social experience. I'd love for you to drop by my booth. I've got a demo. I can show you what this event looks like. Otherwise, thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So this is great, and I know that, AI and dating, that's a great use case. It's very obvious and clear that people could see that. You got to think, now with the new wave of generative AI, companies like Bumble, Tinder, at some point, whether they're either thinking about it already or they're implementing AI into their algorithms too. So how do you keep a competitive edge over these existing players that might be plugging this tech in?
They've got existing models that they've got to maintain. It's very difficult for them to jump into something that's much different than that. We've got live hosts at these events. We've got comedians, musicians. They just don't have that type of operation running. We've been talking. I talked to Match. I talked to Bumble. They've got nothing like this in the pipeline.
Okay, so it's more about the in-person connections as well.
That's right.
Cool. Phil.
Question for you. I think the platforms you just mentioned, I think historically have struggled with having a demographic pool that lets there be equitable matchmaking, essentially. How do you guarantee that the groups you set up on your platform have the right diversity of folk involved so that people can get matches consistently?
Yeah, that's the big challenge with dating apps. So there's like 1,400 different dating apps out there. They're all trying to get to that critical mass. They've got that cold start problem. So we've got some advantages. A lot of what we've built into the product, and I'd love to show demos to anybody interested, we give a lot of insights after the events. So you can really learn how to improve your dating game. We deliver those insights in a very shareable way where it can get up on social media, people start talking about it. So we do have an advantage there. We throw it up on event sites. We've got a couple other marketing tactics we're working on. But yeah, that's the big focus now, get up to that critical mass, get that user liquidity. Everybody's happy with the matches they're getting.
I love you saying the cold start problem. It's a great book.
I read it twice.
Second question for you. Another thing those same platforms have struggled with is actually revenue-generating users staying on the platform because it's meant to be deleted if you get the right match, right? So is this something where you intend to have a freemium version where you get a lot of free people and then the super users pay for it, or does everyone have to pay an entry fee to be in the events? How do you envision this being a sustainable and scalable business model?
Yeah, there are kind of three sources of revenue here. The AI matchmaker is the big one. Once you've attended 20 events on our platform, we now know you deeply enough that we can match you across our entire database of users and bring you curated matches that are highly compatible. So that's the main driver. We have some incremental revenue through in-app purchases. So we have couple coins that you can buy. You can use those to request dates. You can send virtual gifts, among a few other features. And then obviously accessing the event itself. For some users, we charge a cover charge to come on in.
Last question, more just because I'm curious and it's kind of fun. Don't spill the secret sauce, but what specific traits does your algo maybe use to match users that you think are kind of interesting or perhaps unexpected in the beta testing you've done?
It's really the breadth of data that we get. It's that human emotion data I talked about earlier on. We also transcribe everything that are said during the dates, and we can pick that apart and get a lot of data. We get all these labeling data, so they're interacting with each other. We can see who's requesting dates from whom. We can see who's sending virtual gifts. We just have a load of data, and that in aggregate just gives us a big advantage.
Thank you.
Awesome. Ben?
So the things I've said previously have mostly been about content. I'm sorry, delivery, how people are saying things. I want to focus in on content with you, which is what you're saying. If you want to switch things up, use content variety. I talked in the last session about succinctness, being surprising, using stories. By far, I think the one thing that you could add into a pitch like this, using a short story, or maybe even in the pitch as a whole, how would you frame what's going on your app in the form of a story? Humans were evolved. We evolved to listen to stories across culture, across time. The more you can ground what your app does in stories of successful couples that come out of your app, I think would be a really engaging way to make people understand what's going on.
That's great advice.
So, and one last thing, I'll just say, because you're talking about data, emotion as data, I want to make sure that we also hear those emotional details in the story. Image-based details and sensory-based details. All those things make a story play in our minds like a movie. And so it becomes a very powerful tool as you describe things that are very interpersonal. And I think that would be a really powerful tool for how you describe the company.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Couple.ai, come on, find your mate.
All right, everybody give it up for all these startups. They're getting up here, putting in all the lines, so give it up for them. Give it up for Phil and Ben. They've been awesome providing feedback and questions. So round of applause for everyone up here. You're going to want to vote up there for your favorite startup, and then we're going to take it from there. One last thing, I've been Ben Yurcisin. It's been a pleasure being here with y'all. If you want to learn more about what we're building in the Gen AI space, thegenainetwork.com. I hope you'll join our global community of people building in this space. thegenainetwork.com. I would love to get a picture with everybody, including y'all too. So let's do a little selfie thing. We're doing it. All right, everyone get excited. Come on. Be alive out there. All right, the count of three. Make a lot of noise. 1, 2, 3.